Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. Government cuts short tenures of CBI Special Director Rakesh Asthana and 3 other officers. Decision to be implemented with immediate effect. %10 reservation to EWS in general category achieved due to political will of his government, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Inaugurates vibrant Gujarat Global Trade Show in Gandhinagar. Making information available to people in their own languages crucial in a multilingual country like India, says Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, stresses on the need to remove all barriers in accessing information so as to empower and educate the people. ISRO to launch exclusive satellite for Home Ministry to strengthen border security, especially along Pakistan and Bangladesh frontiers. Move after Home Ministry approves recommendations by Task Force on the use of space technology in border management. Dera Sacha Sauda Chief Gurmeet Ram Rahim, 3 others awarded life term in the 2002 journalist murder case. Ram Rahim already serving a 20-year sentence in a rape case at Rohtak jail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the vibrant Gujarat Global Trade Show in Gujarat's capital, Gandhinagar. He is on a 3-day visit to the state beginning Thursday. The trade show is part of the 9th Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister on Friday. After inaugurating the trade show, Prime Minister Modi visited the pavilions and took a look at the products on display. Nearly 1,200 companies have put up their stalls at the trade show. For the first time, the government has organized buyer-seller and reserve buyer-seller meet as part of the trade show. Over 1,500 overseas and domestic buyers are expected to visit the trade show, which aims to benefit MSMEs. The trade show will continue till 22nd January. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi also inaugurated a shopping festival on the Sabarmati River front. He also addressed the people after inaugurating it.
चार वर्ष पहले जहां हम ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस रैंकिंग में 142वें नंबर पर थे, आज 77वीं रैंक पर हम पहुंच चुके हैं। यानी 65 रैंक का रिकॉर्ड जंप, बदलाव। बिजली पानी का कनेक्शन हो, पर्यावरण की क्लियरेंस हो, कंस्ट्रक्शन परमिट हो, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के नियम हो, करीब करीब हर व्यवस्था पहले की तुलना में बहुत आसान हुई है।
And giving a boost to the quality healthcare, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Institute of Medical Science and Research in Ahmedabad in Gujarat on Thursday. Addressing the gathering after inaugurating the hospital, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the constitutional amendment to provide 10% reservation to economically poor in the general category was achieved due to the political will of his government. He said that it will be implemented from this academic year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday inaugurated the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Institute of Medical Science and Research in Ahmedabad. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Modi said that his government was committed to provide equal opportunities to all the sections of the society. He said that the hospital will provide world-class medical facilities to the people.
यहाँ के कमरे हो, बेड हो या फिर यह पूरा कैंपस, आधुनिकता और पर्यावरण का भी पूरा ध्यान रखा गया है। 1500 बेड की सुविधा वाला यह अस्पताल अहमदाबाद की स्वास्थ्य सुविधाओं को बहुत उच्च स्तर पर ले जाने वाला है। ये यहां का पहला ऐसा सरकारी अस्पताल है जहां अपना हेलीपैड है, एयर एम्बुलेंस को उतारने की सुविधा है।
The institute will provide world-class medical equipment and facilities to the doctors and medical students. The 7-storied hospital has 1,500 beds, out of which 1,300 beds have been kept for the general ward. The hospital also has 200 executive class beds. The hospital has 32 operation theatres. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the institute will be linked to the Ayushman Bharat scheme so that poor people can avail medical facilities free of cost. He said that in 100 days, 7 lakh poor people have received treatment under the Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat scheme.
कि सरदार साहब को समर्पित इस अस्पताल में आयुष्मान योजना के तहत गरीब का मुफ्त में इलाज होगा। भाई और बहनों, आयुष्मान भारत प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना ने बहुत ही कम समय में गरीब से गरीब के भीतर स्वास्थ्य के संबंध में सुरक्षा का भाव जगाया।
This is the first government hospital to have a helipad and will provide air ambulance facilities. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And some more news. The tenure of CBI Special Director Rakesh Asthana, who was sent on forced leave by the government, has been curtailed with immediate effect. The tenures of 3 more officers, Joint Director Arun Kumar Sharma, Deputy Inspector General Manish Kumar Sinha, and Superintendent of Police Jayant J. has also been cut short. The move comes days after Alok Verma was removed as CBI Director and appointed Director General of Fire Services, Civil Defence and Home Guards, a post that Verma refused to take up and resigned from the service. And self-styled godman Gurmeet Ram Rahim and 3 others were sentenced on Thursday to life imprisonment in a journalist murder case. The special CBI court in Panchkula pronounced the quantum of sentence. A fine of 50,000 rupees each has also been imposed by the court. On 11th of January, CBI court had convicted the 4 men for the murder of journalist Ram Chandar Chhatarpati in 2002. Ram Rahim, who is currently serving a 20-year term in connection with another case, appeared for a hearing via video conferencing. The journalist was murdered in Sirsa city in Haryana in 2002 after he ran a story in his newspaper about the alleged sexual exploitation of women by the Dera chief. And President Ramnath Kovind addressed the Gandhian Resurgence Summit at the ongoing Kumbh in Prayagraj on Thursday, inaugurating the 2-day summit, which is a part of the series of programs being organized during the 150th birth anniversary year of Mahatma Gandhi. President Kovind said that Mahatma Gandhi laid massive emphasis on cleanliness. He said, Kumbh is not a program, but a matter of faith and belief.
ये जो 150वीं जयंती वर्ष है, उसमें बापू का जो एक सपना और महान कार्य है, उसको आगे बढ़ाने का आज हमारा समय आ गया है कि हम इसका संकल्प लें और इसको आगे हम अनवरत इसके हम स्वच्छताग्राही बन करके इस मिशन को आगे हम चलाते रहेंगे.
Earlier, President Kovind and his wife performed Ganga Pujan in the Sangam area. Uttar Pradesh Governor Ram Nayak, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya and Health Minister Siddharth Nath Singh were also present on the occasion. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has emphasized on removing barriers in accessing information so as to educate and empower the people of the country. The Vice President said that in a diverse and multilingual country like India, making information available to people in their own languages and dialects is extremely important. He was addressing the gathering at the demonstration of machine language translation software Sara in Hyderabad. He highlighted the importance of translation initiatives like Sara, saying that translation facilitates communication, exchange of ideas and information.
According to 2011 census, there are total 121 languages spoken by more than 10,000 people each in India. Thus, linguistic diversity is thus very much part of our lives. Internet is an unlimited source of interesting, important and useful information that can be accessed free of cost. But it is also true that all this information is not available for consumption and use of the people in a language of their choice. That's the problem.
And earlier in the day, Vice President inaugurated Agri-Vision 2019, a two-day conference in Hyderabad on envisioning agro-solutions for smart and sustainable agriculture. While addressing the gathering, the Vice President said that food processing sector plays a critical role in improving agrarian economy, generating employment opportunities and export earnings. He called for investments in agricultural research and development to tackle the emerging challenges in agriculture.
Loan waiver is only temporary. You waive the loan this season, next season who will give you the loan? One has to understand very serious matter. If somebody said, sir, are you against the loan waiver? I am not against. You want to waive everything? I have no problem if you have the capacity. You must have the capacity, na? You must have the wealth, na? Then only you can distribute. If there is no wealth, how do you distribute it? You will become a pauper. So we have to think in terms of long-term connectivity, electricity, road, water, storage, go down, refrigerator system, refrigerator vans, good market system, timely credit. These are the challenges.
And with that, we'll slip into a very quick break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Security Scan. I am Vishal Dahiya, and this week we will take a look at the new artillery gun K9 Vajra T.
It has a capability of MRSI fire, that is multiple round simultaneous effect.
This gun will actually go with the tanks, one. Two, the crew of the gun is also protected.
We wanted to move the caliber of the gun, which is measured in terms of the length of the barrel, to a 52 caliber gun. And we were able to get the best gun in the world, the K9 Thunder.
Welcome back. The satellite will be launched by ISRO exclusively for the Home Ministry to help it further strengthen its frontiers with Pakistan and Bangladesh. The move is part of the recommendations made by a task force on the use of space technology in improving border management, which have been accepted by Home Minister Rajnath Singh. To execute the project in a time-bound manner, a short, medium and long-term plan has been proposed for implementation in 5 years in close coordination with the ISRO and the Defence Ministry. Island development, border security communication and navigation, geographic information system and operations planning system and border infrastructure development are the areas identified for the use of space technology. Your cable and DTH bills may come down soon. This as the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is set to implement its new policy from 1st of February. As per the new rules, the DTH providers like Airtel DTH TV, Tata Sky or Dish TV can charge a maximum of only 130 rupees, excluding GST, for a set of 100 non-HD channels. These include free-to-air channels of Prasar Bharati. However, if consumers choose any other paid channel, they will have to pay the MRP for that particular channel. TRAI has given consumers time till the end of this month to make a choice for uninterrupted service after January. According to the Broadcast Audience Research Council of India, 90% people in the country don't watch more than 40 channels currently.
आपको बुके के नाम पर बहुत सारे चैनल थमा दिए जाते थे, जिन चैनल्स को आप देखते भी नहीं, कभी ब्राउज भी नहीं करते। तो ये ज़रूरी समझा गया कि कस्टमर जिस चैनल्स को या जिन चैनल्स को देखना चाहता है उसको देखे, उसके लिए पेमेंट करे और साथ ही साथ उसको ये अधिकार हो ये पता जानने का कि कोई चैनल जो खरीद रहा है उसकी कीमत क्या है।
The Rajya Sabha Secretariat has organized a sensitization workshop on sexual harassment against women at workplace. It is the first of its kind workshop since the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 came into force. Inaugurating the workshop, Rajya Sabha Secretary General Desh Deepak Verma said that workplace harassment violates the constitutional principle of equality, liberty and dignity of women. He asserted that a shift in the mindset towards zero tolerance towards sexual harassment is required to enable women to contribute to their full potential. He also further stressed that when women enjoy a safe and secured work environment, their performance gets enhanced, contributing significantly to the overall improvement in productivity.
The improvements in education and employment scenario, millions of women are joining the country's workforce, as I said in the beginning. Sexual harassment at workplace violates women's right to equality, life and liberty. Increasing incidents of sexual harassment reflect a deep-seated and continued gender bias at the workplace and highlights the reality that majority of the employees are poorly equipped to effectively handle such instances. According to a survey conducted by the Indian National Bar Association in 2017, as many as almost 70% women said that they did not report sexual harassment by superiors because they feared repercussions. I believe that where women employees fear reporting any incidents of sexual harassment, it reflects poorly about the gender sensitivity of that particular organization.
Vivekananda International Foundation Chairman S. Gurumurthy has said that the world is ruled by some or the other ideology, but India is ruled by philosophy. Addressing a Vasudeva Kutumbakam event organized by Vivekananda International Foundation, he noted ideology shuts the door to dialogue while philosophy opens the door to discussions. Famous writer and noted journalist Gurumurthy added, nature has endowed India with diversity in terms of gods, species, animals and seasons. He said, we had a different approach and we understood that all are not one, but we have always been accommodative. And that is the idea of Vasudeva Kutumbakam.
And how to navigate a grand idea of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, which is not something which India can live alone. The world has to live this idea. India can provide the software for that. But the world has to accept that idea. The world will not accept the idea if it is in a library. It must be in a lived form. The greatest contribution that India has done about Vasudeva Kutumbakam is to have lived the idea.
Stepping up attack on the opposition, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley today said that the left and the dynastic politicians has emerged as to create perpetual propaganda against the Modi government. In a Facebook post, Jaitley called the left and the Congress compulsive contrarians who believed in manufacturing falsehood and opposing every move by the government. Citing examples of government's decisions, Jaitley said that opposition adopts double standards whenever it suits them. And the body of one of the 15 mine workers trapped inside an illegal coal mine in Meghalaya was found by a team of Navy personnel today. The officials said that the body was spotted inside the rat hole mine and naval divers brought it to its mouth. Coming down heavily on the state over 15 miners trapped, the top court yesterday said that Meghalaya has failed in dealing with the menace of illegal mining. The top court also asked the state government to file an affidavit on the issue. 15 miners are trapped in the 370-foot deep illegal coal mine in East Jaintia Hill district of Meghalaya since December 13th. And some more developments. The NIA carried out fresh searches at 8 places in western Uttar Pradesh and Punjab in connection with its probe against an ISIS-inspired group which was allegedly planning suicide attacks and serial blasts targeting politicians and government installations in Delhi and other parts of North India. The searches were conducted based on inputs from interrogation of people arrested for allegedly being part of Harkat-ul-Harb-e-Islam module of global terrorist group ISIS. The agency has arrested 12 people in this connection since December 26th last year. And international news now, people in Washington, D.C. were in for a big surprise on Wednesday morning. U.S. President Donald Trump has resigned, screamed a front-page 6-column headline in the Washington Post. It read, "Unprecedented Trump hastily departs White House, ending crisis." The lead story was accompanied with a 4-column image of President Trump, visibly upset with his head down. On left side of the paper was a long single-column report. Its headline read, "Celebrations break out worldwide as Trump era ends." The newspaper was dated May 1st, 2019. To add to the surprise, this edition was being distributed freely on the streets of Washington, D.C., including areas near the White House. Soon, the Washington Post clarified that it was a fake edition and the newspaper has nothing to do with it. A woman reportedly had a stack of newspapers in blue plastic bag and was distributing it to passers-by and office-goers early on Wednesday morning. Reporters and Twitter users shared images of the fake newspaper online, describing it as pretty convincing at the first glance, though clearly fictional upon closer inspection. By Wednesday afternoon, an accompanying website had emerged showcasing stories about the supposed end to Trump's presidency under the domain name mywashingtonpost.com. And for more on this, we'll go across to Mr. Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist. Sir, thank you so much for coming to our studio. What is the reason for this resentment among people against Trump? Why this fake news has been circulated?
Well, I think with Trump's popularity not exactly on the high, an anti-Trump group thought that they would reflect the public sentiment by coming out with a complete fake Washington Post front page, rather the edition which carrying a lot of anti-Trump articles and declaring that Trump is going from May 1st. And in fact, the edition itself deadline is May 1st. Now, obviously, this was, as you mentioned in your story now, that one woman was found distributing the paper outside the Union Station in Washington, D.C., as well as outside the White House. And after some time, a group claiming itself to be S-Minister said it had put up this to reflect what it said was growing sentiment against President Trump. But Washington Post organization was not amused. And they said that they are taking a serious view of this and will find out who has exactly done and what's the damage. This is, I think, using fake news, in fact, a fake newspaper to further a particular political cause or to express dismay over the policies of the U.S. President Trump. Be as it may, but I think overall, this trend of because there is one is called the misreporting news and the other is completely false news. Because we have also had instances recently where I am told a newspaper in the south published a picture of these best employees in Mumbai demonstrating for their wage hike. So one picture showing the wives of these best drivers, demonstrating in solidarity was shown as BJP workers celebrating quote-unquote upper caste quota. So there are sometimes problems when pictures are misrepresented. And of course, the newspaper concerned tries to make amends. But there have been several instances, particularly on the social websites, where we find that some horrible events are just created and shown as, this is what is happening in Kashmir or this is happening in some of the districts in Assam, which provokes actually violence because this is circulated through WhatsApp. Because this is not an innocuous news. Maybe in the US, this particular Trump affair could be called as a innocuous prank. But in our country, we find that social websites like Facebook and WhatsApp are used to circulate very provocative pictures which could cause communal tension or communal problem.
Absolutely.
So I think this is something, it's a serious problem. And even WhatsApp has announced that they would have some kind of a committee to go into all this. Even Facebook is putting up a committee, a watchdog kind of thing, because elections are happening in countries including India and Ukraine and other places.
So the problem, the menace of fake news is very common nowadays. It's not restricted to a particular country, it's everywhere. So how to deal with this menace of fake news? How to bring it completely to avoid this spread of fake news? And if we talk about the impact, as you just said, that it might have one of the worst impact on the election and things. So how to deal with such a scenario so that people are not influenced, so the things are not influenced by the spreading of this fake news?
Well, I think one way forward is to actually track down the mischief mongers who are putting up such false stories. And we have had instances where cases have been filed where some wrong Facebook posts were put by people intent on creating tension or creating trouble. So we'll have to crack down on them. And also we have seen WhatsApp has brought in some kind of changes where you cannot forward any item beyond 5 people.
Beyond 5 people, absolutely.
So I think there are restrictions, but more important it is for the consumers. I mean, here in the case of people who receive such messages, and not to circulate them, not to forward them, because a purveyor of such information is as much as liable as the person who originates these messages. Because it's important that when we get such a message, which may seem funny or which may seem as black humor, but if it is circulated, it does cause tension among those sections of the society who do not have the discrimination to realize it's a false news. So therefore, in our country where there are different strata in our society, different sections in our society, we need to be more careful, because everyone would not be applying the same kind of discrimination to to distinguish between what is real news and what is false news. And there is a tendency to circulate this news, particularly when there is an incident or two. We have seen this happening where instances like, for instance, we saw violence in Bulletin, where I believe social websites were used to further foment trouble.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Iyer, for joining us and giving us all those inputs and details on that very important development from Washington, where the people in Washington, D.C. were taken by surprise with the spread of the fake news under the newspaper, the Washington Post. And that's all we have for you in this edition of News Tonight. For more news and updates, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television. Namaskar.